What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 30 of our Social Montbéliard Let's Play here in Football Manager 2018, and today it's the start of Season 4. Yes, I'm so excited for this. Last season was a season to remember. Today, we try to build off that. Of course, the Europa League is something we will have an eye on this year. We are going to be in the group stages of that, and well, as you can see at the moment, we still don't know who we're going to be playing just yet. Today, we open up the season against Nice, of course a club who, if we just look at it, last year finished just one spot behind us. So this is going to be a big game for us to start this season. Can we kind of keep going the way that we're going? That's going to be the challenge. Of course, this year, the league has moved up in the coefficients, meaning that 4th place would get you a Champions League spot. I feel like that's got to be the aim this year. Just to start things off, in terms of the board expectations, we can have a look here at the security, which is all very good. But if we look at competition performance, we can see in League they expect us to qualify for the Europa League through participation in the league, so a top 5 finish. In the French Cup, we're expected to reach the quarter-final. In the Coupe de la Ligue, we want to reach the quarter-final again. And in the Europa League, we need to get out of the group stage. So those were the challenges. Of course, last season was a season of growth. This summer has been a season of change. And, well, if you watch the end of season live com, you'll know I was stuck in a bit of a pickle, and while we've gone a little bit crazy in the transfer window, and as you can see here, we did sell a player. We had to sell a player. People are going to be glad I think it isn't Ducasse who's gone. But we made one massive sale. We sold Ricardo Martin to PSG. Let's get rid of this kind of transfer and get it over and done with. He was our top performer last year. He was 19. My scouts, or rather my assistant manager, thought he might be coming close to his current ability and his potential, so he wasn't going to improve that much more. And PSG came in with a £45 million bid. Now, you might be sat there thinking, Jack, you said they came in with a £45 million bid, but you sold him for $40 million. That's correct. I went and negotiated, a bit of a weird negotiation this one, but we have made an agreement as part of this sale that 40% of whatever Ricardo Martin goes for, doesn't matter if it's a tiny amount, doesn't matter if it's a big amount, it's not to do with the profit, just 40% of that fee goes to us, and I think that is probably worth it in the long term. He strikes me as the kind of player who I don't think is actually going to do that well at PSG. PSG often, in Football Manager, as in real life, they'll sign a player and they don't really make a mark in the first team. They don't really get going. I'm kind of subtly hoping in the back of my mind that Ricardo Martin flops a little and that he sell him on for some good money and we get some more cash off it. But I think in terms of as a sale, it was a tough one to do, but the way I looked at it was, of all the kind of big players we have, the likes of Trincao, Ducasse, obviously Ricardo Martin, he was the player who I felt like we had a replacement already kind of there for, and that was in the form of Almada, who of course we signed at the start of last season. And whilst the players are slightly different, I feel like in a way they are fairly comparable. In terms of quality, I don't feel like there's a massive difference between them. You can see Martin perhaps slightly better technically, with the exception of technique. In terms of the mentals, again, it's very closely matched, to be honest. There's not a lot between the players. And then, in terms of the physicals for an advanced playmaker, again, there's not a big difference. Of course, this does pile pressure on Almada to perform this year. He hasn't played for us yet. This is going to be his first ever competitive game. But I'm really excited to see the young Argentine play, and I think he can improve, and I think he can be the player that we need him to be. So naturally, as you can perhaps imagine, selling a player for £40 million did open up some opportunities. There were a few other players that we sold here, like Mattiello, Ristel, and Benza, Bataka. You can see them here. Lots of players who weren't really in the first team. A few of them are players who I had high hopes for at some point, the likes of Senhaji, but ultimately they didn't quite find their feet. A few players like Jay Katongo, Francisco Deli and Sofian Daham just also left on free transfers, and we've loaned out a lot of young players as well, so quite a lot going on the outs. But as you can imagine, £40 million really gave me money to play with. It gave me money to try and make some stuff happen, and make some stuff happen we did. In terms of the chronological order of transfers, the first 3 transfers were made before the Ricardo Martin sale happened. Now, we didn't actually get any bids for Trincao or Ducasse, so at this point, when I signed these first few players, I didn't realise what was kind of going to happen later on in the summer with, this influx of money. So the first player we signed here was Jose Herrera, Colombian, 19 years old. Looks like a really exciting player, this guy. Looking forward to seeing him develop. Currently looking at maybe loaning him out. I think that would be good for his development. But yeah, just a very, very talented player at 19 who we got in for a measly fee of £275,000. The next player we signed, Harry Wilson, just a bit of strength and depth out wide initially. Brought him in thinking that we were going to struggle and we didn't have money to spend, to buy players in. So I was looking at loans. This was one of the players who was kind of at the top of my shopping list. I still think he will play a role in the first team this year, probably more so as a backup. But yeah, the 23-year-old Welsh international looks like a good little inside forward for us. Anyway, the next player we signed, Fares, bit of a budget deal again. Wouldn't have signed this guy if I'd known what was going to happen, but we brought him in from Verona. He does add some strength and depth out on the left wing. It's an area of the pitch that we were lacking a little in. So hopefully he can, do well, although probably not going to be called on that much. Anyway, the last of the signings I made before the Ricky Martin sale was Jordi Mbula, a player who, of course, starts off at Monaco in game. He was sold to the Cypriot team, Apoel, for 2.4 million. I decided to bring him back to France for 3.2 million. Really like the look of this guy, really talented player. You'll notice his wages are quite high. When we go into the next few transfers, as you can imagine with the sale that was made, we suddenly had all this new money around. So I was able to kind of push our wage budget up to the next level, which was nice. But Mbula, one of the players that we brought in, very excited about this guy. I think he's going to be one of our go-to players out on the right. As an inside forward, despite the fact he's right-footed, very well suited to this role. Probably actually where I see him playing more often. You can see he does have cut inside from both wings as a player-preferred move, so he's going to be good as an inside forward. And yeah, really excited to see what he can bring to us. Only 21 years old as well, and some potential to improve also. So anyway, £40 million suddenly appeared in the bank account, and I went and spent it. And the first player was a player who I talked about during the end-of-season review as being a player who I had my eye on, and it's Lafont here, 21 years old, an absolutely incredible goalkeeper, almost certainly going to be our starter this year. If we just compare him to Sunday West, this is the difference that this player can make to us. He is just head and shoulders above the rest. This guy is a Champions League quality goalkeeper, in my opinion. And, well, look at him. He's 21. He's going to improve. He's probably going to be France's long-term goalkeeper, I hope. And yeah, really high hopes for this guy to come big for us. I feel like with Prévost kind of finding themselves a little bit surplus to requirements, this guy is the guy to, come in and take his place. You can see Prévost, we have actually loaned out because no one was interested in signing him. Anyway, the next signing we made, £9.5 million. I should also point out, actually, that Lafont deal was a record transfer. We went on to break it a further 2 times. So the first player we broke it with was this guy, Dimitri Millet. This guy, French, 19, really love him. 20 determination. Looks like a superb striker. Super excited about him. I found him lurking in the French under-21s. He was a player who had been on my radar a few years ago, and I'd kind of been priced out of a deal for him. You can see for Nîmes, he's been a little underwhelming so far, but I feel like for us, he can develop. He can become the player that he has the potential to be. And when you look at him, he just looks like a fantastic advanced forward. He's only 19, room to improve. Really excited to see what he can do. And yeah, he is just a perfect backup striker, I feel like, to Ducasse. I feel like when we compare the players, Ducasse definitely the better of the 2 players. But, well, Dimitri Millet, definitely a player who I think can step up and be a vital part of our first team plans this year. Anyway, the next player we signed, Felix Udokai, and well, we smashed our transfer record with this guy. £16.5 million paid for the young German, 22 years old. Just a very exciting centre-back, left-footed, which I kind of like as a left centre-back option, and he has potential to continue to improve. You can see, looking at his report, good player for Ligue 1, great ability in the air. He does also have good consistency, if I'm not mistaken. That was something that was flagged up in the scout report. Very good with the ball at his feet, which with our controlling style of play, I do think is going to be important. He is only 22, lots of years ahead of him. He signed a 4-year deal for the club on 33 grand a year. And, well, I'm excited to see what this guy can achieve with us. I think he's going to be a fantastic centre-back option for us long term. Anyway, the next 2 players, 2 starting defenders, significantly cheaper than Udokai, though. And the first one was Alex Pinto from Benfica, an extremely talented right-back, a player who hasn't quite found his potential. I do think he will be starting this year for us at right-back ahead of Dalot. Of course, we do have Dalot on loan from Porto, if I'm not mistaken. I hope it's Porto. It's certainly a Portuguese side. You can see Pinto slightly better defensively, not so quite as good going forward, but given the fact he is a permanent signing for us, he is going to be the player who I focus on playing regular first-team football for. You can see he has only just turned 22. I'd like to improve his pace just a little bit if we can, but yeah, just a very well-rounded full-back option. who is very well suited to this level of football. And the last player we signed, a player who I'm really happy to get this deal done and over the line with, Ben Chilwell from Leicester, a really talented player in Football Manager, has a very high potential ability. I'm surprised they've let him go this cheap, but clearly he wasn't happy at the club. £3.1 million spent. You can see he didn't really have the best time in the Championship playing with Norwich, but I'm very optimistic that we can get the most out of this guy. He is 23, he is kind of getting to that stage where he might not develop quite so much as we'd like, but you can see here, just as a wing-back on support, just incredibly well suited to this role. And well, when we compare him to Pendant a little bit better defensively if I'm not mistaken, but you can see just technically, physically, Ben Chilwell just adds a whole nother level to the team. It's also going to provide some good competition at the left-back area of the pitch, which is something that for a long period of time has been nailed on as Pendant's kind of solitary position. So yeah, quite a lot done in the transfer window. I feel like at this point, I feel very prepared actually for Europa League football this year. I feel like if we just look at the squad view here, you can see, just looking across the team as a whole, we have strength in depth everywhere. My general attitude is I like to have kind of 5 centre-backs in the first team. I like to have 3 left-backs and 3 right-backs, although usually there'll be one player who plays both of those positions. In that case, we have Calavera to play both full-back positions. In the midfield, we've got lots of talent in the centre of the midfield. Out on either wing, again, I like to have 3 players who can play both sides. Down the centre, we've got a lot of options. Potentially the striker area, the area of concern in terms of options, although I feel like with Ducasse, Millet, Pote and Moroni, we have enough options there. And I feel like at this point, with, well, still 2 weeks left of the transfer window, all our transfer business is kind of done. Other big news that happened over the summer is, you can see here, new contracts offered to a few players. You can see the likes of, if we look here, Chevalier on a new deal for £20,000, Trincao on a new deal for £20,000. We really did have to push up the amount that we're spending on wages this year to attract in some of the talent that I wanted to sign. But I feel like it was always going to happen. It was always going to be necessary that we improve the team this year, and to do that we were going to have to spend, we were going to have to invest wage budget, and I do feel like it's going to be worth it. You'll notice Ducasse still not signed a new deal. He has still got significantly kind of long left on his current deal. He's here for another 3.5 years, 4 years, so there isn't a massive pressure to get a new contract over the line for him. He wanted £60,000 a week, which would be, well, double what the next highest earner earns, so that's why I've not offered him a new contract. Hopefully that can have an amicable resolution, I guess, going forward into this new year. So in terms of this squad depth, I talked about it. I feel like that is a big factor this year, actually, is how we kind of deal with the situation at hand. This is what my reserve manager considers the best starting 11. It's not too dissimilar to mine. I do feel like Diarra is more likely to start at centre-back rather than Ruiz. And additionally, Dalot, whilst we've got him in on loan, I feel like Pinto's probably going to be the better option to play at right-back because he is our own player and he's not a player we've got loaned in. But I feel like when we look at the rest of this team, we're in a pretty good kind of spot. If we just kind of look at, for our current formation, the best 11 with 3-star ability, you see with the exception of the striker position where you could argue we're a little bit weak, the strength in depth is pretty good. You know, we have star players to play everywhere. If we just lower the star ratings down by 1, you can kind of see, I feel like the squad depth this year is very, very solid. It's perhaps the best it's ever been. Last year, we really didn't rotate the side that much. We didn't have too many injuries, which was obviously a massive benefit. But I feel like this year, with the amount of competitions we're going to be in, I needed to add in more options. Really, last year we had a core of maybe 15 players in the squad who would play regularly. There were a few players who would fill in then here and there. But really, this year I wanted to take the club to the next level. Just a few other little bits of team news. Valentin Gauthier has been promoted to the first team. He is going to be a right-back we look to play fairly often. You can see broke into the French under-21 setup over the summer, which is good to see. And, well, this is what I consider to be our strongest starting 11 right now. So let's just take a quick look at it. In goal, we are, of course, going to go with Lafont, the new addition. I'm really excited to see what the 21-year-old can do. I feel like he is a big improvement on what we've had in the past if we just compare him to Prevost. Yeah, he just fundamentally is a big improvement in a lot of different areas, which is exciting to see. At left back for today's game, we are going to start with Ben Chilwell. I feel like Chilwell and Pendant really are going to be battling for this left back position. It's a position that I think the selection of it will be largely based off form. So, I mean, both players will have a chance to fight for their role in the team. In the centre back positions, we're going to go with Udokai and alongside him Diarra to start the year rather than Ruiz. The reason for that being is I kind of like Diarra's athleticism. It's something something that we don't really have in the form of Jean Ruiz. You know, he's a little bit lacking in terms of his pace. Diarra's very good there. Diarra perhaps not quite so good with the ball at his feet and kind of technically. However, I feel like Udokai Felix kind of more than makes up for that in the left centre-back position. Obviously, our right-back, we are going to go with Pinto, who we signed for a measly fee. I can't believe we managed to get him for £135,000 from Benfica. I do feel like the Portuguese clubs sell players very, very cheaply in FM18, and I recommend if you're doing any kind of save in Europe, you have Portugal loaded, because it seems like they're more than willing to let some of their better players go for really, really cheap at times. Anyway, in the centre defensive mid position, we are of course going to go with Chevalier. He's had his nickname removed. Panic over, everyone, I know. You know, the league approved the fact he can have Chevalier on the back of his shirt once more. Alongside him, we're going to go with Jondo Fuchs playing the Mazzala role, and then across the front three, we go with Trincao out on the left. Nothing new here. However, two new faces in the team. Almada going to be playing that advanced playmaker role. Alongside him, Mbula playing out on the right as an inside forward. And up top, well, of course, it's Ducasse still. On the bench, very good options. We've got Gautier, Pendant, Ruiz, Almeida, Moroni, Wilson, and Dimitri Millet. And, well, let's get into this first game of the season, shall we? We're taking on Nice. It's going to be a big game for us, a chance for us to show that we have improved over the summer. I do feel like there is a little bit of kind of growing pains that we're perhaps going to have to go through this year. 3 new defenders in the back 4, a new goalkeeper. Defensively, we've always looked very solid. We're in a good position whereby if the new defence doesn't quite work out, we can change things up. But you can see this year we are going to have 6 players making their debut in our starting 11. I think last year at the start of the year, we didn't have a single new debutant. So that gives you an idea of just how busy we have been in the summer. Anyway, go out there and impress me. Good response by the team. Let's get into this game. Fuchs set to make his 150th appearance for the club. That is really impressive. I picked the team that gives us the best chance of winning. Apparently some surprises in there. I guess given the number of new faces, you never really know when a new season starts how many of them are immediately going to be introduced to the first team. But, well, we're going to take a bit of a risk. We're going to see if it works out for us today. As I said, 4 new players in the back 5, if you include the goalkeeper is big. Mbula and Almada also making their debuts. And, well, let's see what we can do here. Almada out wide to Chevalier, edge of the box. Trincao, I mean, if that's how we start, I hope we can mean to go on like this. 6 minutes gone, 1 goal up already. Perfect start to the season. First shot on target, first goal. And, well, Pinto with the throw in, goes to Almada, finds a bit of space, pulls it to Chevalier. And, well, Trincao with a relatively simple finish into the near post. Lovely stuff there. And the perfect start to the first game of the season, really. Hopefully we can keep this going. Hopefully we can dominate possession and, well, have some good performances from our new players. I feel like that's always the exciting thing at the start of a new season. You have new players, there's this new expectation, this bit of an unknown quantity, I guess, about your starting 11. And that's what we have here. Fuchs going to try and apply some pressure and box them in the corner here. Ball cleared out. We should be able to win this. Unfortunately, we don't. Marquez to player. And, well, he's bringing the ball forward. Can we get in a tackle? Of course we can. Udokai, lovely crunching tackle. Back to Lafont. The first time we've seen him touch the ball. It's all very exciting, isn't it? Ball forward, out onto this right-hand side. Almada trying to make an impact here immediately. Goes to Chevalier. And now with Mbula, I mean, all the new kids on the block getting involved. Pinto on the overlap, just a little pirouette. Whips it into Cass. Penalty, Shirley. Unfortunately not. Salcedo, lovely tackle. And, well, maybe Nice are going to try and hit us on the break here with player. Can Udokai put in another crunching tackle? He can't this time. They've got a lot of men forward here. We need to defend well. Ball in, and, well, it's hit. And they score with their first shot on target of the game. And for all the good attacking work and good possession we've had, it gets undone very, very quickly here. 21 minutes gone. And we're just quite a little bit short at the back here, it felt like. Perhaps not quite enough players getting back there. Questionable, I think, by Ben Chilwell closing down. Then I think he could have stood off his man a little bit more. But let's not get too carried away here. It's still been a very good start to this game. And I feel like there is going to be a gelling period here. There is going to be a period where team cohesion isn't at its best. And it kind of might take a few games to get good. But, well, hopefully we will see quick improvements. Of course, this is one of the toughest games of the season as far as I'm concerned. Going away from home to Nice. Last season we lost this game 4-1. So I just want to see an improvement from that. Obviously, I'd love a win. That would be ideal. But if we can avoid a 4-1 defeat, and if we can be competitive in this game, that's going to give me a lot of optimism, as we are looking to break here. And Mbula, making his way, can cut inside, of course, playing that inside forward, or tries to put in a cross. I mean, I say tries to put a cross. I'm not sure if you could even call that an attempted cross. It was that poor. Unfortunately, way wide of the mark. Anyway, still dominating the ball here, 60% possession. We have a set piece here. Ducasse whips it in. Udokai on his debut, surely not, hits the woodwork, it bounces out and they get it clear. The towering German is looking very good at left centre-back. Been very involved in the defensive phases of play from what we've seen. And, well, he almost had a chance to get a goal on his debut. Another set piece, this time Almada to take it. Big ball up, Salcedo heads it away. Who's that with? It's with Ben Chilwell to try and make something happen. Kicks it straight at his man. Chilwell, you're not having the best game today, son. I know it's your debut, but I'm expecting more. I mean, I guess the good thing is we only spent £3 million on him. As Mbula to Fuchs, Ducasse just lingering on the last man, looking for an opportunity, comes short for it. Almada, interesting first touch there. And, well, unfortunately, it breaks back to Kuhn in goal, who rolls it out to Salcedo. Can we, get a goal here just before half-time? It could be huge. Almada, lovely win in the air. He is very good as well in the air, Almada, the Argentine, and he's involved in the play again here. Pulling the strings to Trincao. Can he pull it back? He does. Mbula on his debut. A lovely passing move. What a goal that was. We just passed it around delightfully, crafted out an opportunity. And, well, it all came from Almada, really. He won that initial ball in the air. This ball here through to Trincao, superb. The run, great as well by Trincao. You thought he might pull it across to Ducasse, but it was the man at the back post, Mbula, cutting inside as the inside forward. He found the back of the net. And, well, I think I talked about the end of last season, the fact I felt like we needed to find an opposite to Trincao. We've always had Trincao out on the left. We've never really had a great right winger. Maybe Mbula can be that man for us. But 2-1 up at the break. Very, very happy with how things are going. We've limited their opportunities away from home. It's been a very commanding performance so far. And, well, the only thing we're really missing right now, of course, is the win at the end of the game, but also Ducasse to get a goal. It's very unusual for him not to score on the first day of the season. And, well, we have a set piece here. Trincao whips it in, headed away by Salcedo. Chevalier wins it, though. Inside to Mbula, Almada. Mbula again to Trincao. Hits it. Oh, what a finish that is. And this time, it's Mbula playing provider to Trincao. I mean, they're helping each other out here. The two wingers, the players on the score sheets. And it all came from a corner that wasn't properly cleared by Nice. Salcedo with a header away. Chevalier mopped it up. Player weak into the tackle by the striker. But, well, make no mistake, this was the finish by Trincao rather than the pass by Mbula that cut them open. Lovely, delightful finish. Squeezes it into that bottom corner. I mean, we're looking very, very good right now. I am really excited by this performance. We are dominating the play massively. And, while we're going forward again, Ducasse, what a touch that is to beat his man. Beats another. Can he tuck it away? He hits the woodwork. What a goal that could have been for us to make it 4-1 and to make this comfortable. Don't want to get too carried away yet because there is still 40 minutes left in this game. But from what we've seen so far, there is a lot of reasons to be optimistic about this team. We could even make a few changes. Ducasse hasn't played that well. You know what? Millet. Show me what you're made of, my friend. The new signing, the young striker, was the record transfer at the time. He's only 19. Last year didn't have the best year in Ligue 2 playing for Nîmes. This year, can he have a great season for us playing in Ligue 1? That's going to be the challenge for him. We do need to defend this set piece here. Almada with it. I mean, is Millet going to be involved? Oh my gosh, what was that? Was that a blocked cross? It looks like it was, and it ends up in the back of the net. I'm not sure what's happened there. That was weird. I mean, it's a silly mistake to make. I think the ball might have been kicked at the back of Chilwell. I think that's what's happened here. Almada. I mean, what has Almada done here? I don't think he knows. I think he's got really unfortunate actually trying to clear it and it's hit the back of a defender. Pedro Marquez is given the goal. It was a gift. It really was given to him. And, well, 15 minutes left here. Maybe this isn't going to be as plain sailing as I'd like. For all the possession we've commanded, we are giving the ball away in silly positions, and we've done it again here. Ivo with the ball across. Ball to Marquez as a striker. He turns his man, he hits it. What a finish that is, but we are bottling this right now. I was so confident. I was so happy with the performance. And it's all just crumbling. I'm going to take off Almada, I think, and bring in Moroni at advanced playmaker. Fuchs hasn't had the best game either. Let's bring in Almeida for him. It is going to get confusing with Almeida and Almada, the centre mids. Might have to go on first name basis for them to make it less confusing. But anyway, 7 minutes left in this game. 3-3. Looking for a late goal if we can. And Kunku, I mean, he's just lashed out at him, ref. Get him off the pitch. It's a second yellow card. An unnecessary tackle. They're down a man. And this is kind of where now we need to go on the attack, don't we? We need to push forward and try and get the win now. From this kind of position, they're down a man. There's 5 minutes left. Got a chance here. Pinto to Chevalier. Passes it back to the edge of the box to Andre Almeida, who hits the woodwork again. And for the third time this match, we've had the post rattle. And it just feels a little unfortunate, doesn't it, really? And Bula not going to get there either. Chevalier just put in the tackle. Let's not get hit on the counter, having just hit the post. Not like this. Ball forward, Udokai, nice win. I mean, could we go forward? Unfortunately not. Oh, it feels like the chance is gone, doesn't it? Rattling the woodwork like that. We've hit it 3 times this game. I mean, they've hit it once, to be fair, but you can't help but feel like we've been the masters of our own downfall. I mean, what is Kuhn doing here? What is the keeper doing? I don't even know. Mile's going to score. What have I just witnessed? Hashtag just football manager things. I mean, well done, Mile. Goal on your debut. 19 years old. Record transfer. What just happened? I thought when we hit the woodwork, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm not going to complain, but if that happened and it was my keeper, I'd be livid. Anyway, we've got another chance here. I should have gone more defensive having just scored, but we're on the attack, so we're going to stay on the attack. Mbula, Andre, hit that. It wasn't offside, was it? It wasn't offside. I'm scared it's offside. It wasn't offside. 5-3 it is. Rafael Diarra with the goal. The centre-back who we've kept faith in over the years, and he's repaid that faith today with a goal. Mbula nods it down, passes it to Andre Almeida. And, well, a lovely little finish there by Diarra into the bottom corner. 5-3. We don't need to go more defensive now. We've made the man advantage count, and I thought we'd bottled it. We haven't bottled it in the end. We've managed to grind out what is still a very, very good win away from home against Nice. 5-3. Maybe signs that the defence still aren't quite on the same wavelength yet. A little bit of teething room perhaps there to overcome as one of their players dives on the floor there. But yeah, 5-3 it's going to finish. Gifted to us really by their keeper. We did get another to make sure of it. Great performance to start the season as far as I'm concerned. Defensively, yeah, there's room for improvement. But I feel like, all in all, going into this game, we just wanted to get a win. And, well, if we could get another, that'd be good, wouldn't it? We're not going to get another. As soon as I say that, the ref does blow his whistle. 5-3 it finishes. Great performance. 2 late goals for us were the difference. I do feel like we were the better team. We did deserve to win that. And, yeah, very, very happy to beat Nice away from home 5-3. A bit of a mad scoreline to start the season, I guess. But good to see a few of our debutants like Mbula really kind of make their mark on this game. And hopefully going forward, obviously they're going to really gel into the team. In terms of when we'll be back, I think it will be for the Europa League group stage game. Our first ever game in Europe as Sochaux manager. It can be a really exciting occasion, albeit in the Europa League. Of course, hopefully I do see you guys for that. The group stage draw yet to happen, but I don't think we're going to have a coefficient. So we could end up in a fairly tricky group. We'll have to see how things pan out there. And yeah, as I said, hopefully I will see you guys for that game. If you have enjoyed today's video, do leave a like on it. Leave any comments down below. What did you make of the transfer business this year? I feel like we did quite a lot, but I feel like it was some good business. I feel like we spent fairly smartly, and hopefully going forward, these players are going to really prove their worth for us this season. Anyway, that is all from me. It is me, Jack. And yeah, I will see you guys soon for the next episode. I'm out.